I just grew my brand new Skool community from 0 to over 100 members in less than 5 days. And it's all because I used this one simple strategy and 3-step framework that I'm about to show you right now. Because after using this one strategy and following these 3 simple steps, I was able to launch, grow, and monetize my brand new community to over 223 members and counting in less than 30 days. In fact, after implementing the 3rd step of this framework, we are now currently averaging over 57 new members per week inside our brand new community right now. And as of today, and I literally just checked the stats before filming this video, we just hit 69 new members inside our community in just the past 7 days. We're able to take this exact 3-step community launch and growth framework that I'm about to share with you right now, and not only launch and grow a highly active and engaged community with hundreds of members in just a matter of weeks like you see here, but we were also able to almost immediately start monetizing our community, put together version 1 of our dream offer and business model that we truly believe will allow us to help the people we are the most passionate in serving, and take the exact process that you see here and almost immediately start attracting our ideal clients and generate over $18,000 on a brand new offer and brand new business model in less than 3 days. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the fastest way that you can launch and grow your first or next community to 100 members or more in less than 30 days. So with that being said, let's dive in. Our goal for each and every one of you guys is to get your first 100 members, type 100 in the chat, in as little time as possible. For us, how many days exactly did it take for us to get our first 100 members, Katie?
It was 5 days on the nose. Which I was like, oh my, the symmetry of that and my OCD was like, that was amazing.
Yes, and I truly believe in my heart and soul that the same is possible for you guys no matter where you're starting out. Because when Katie and I launched this community, we didn't really rely too heavily on a pre-existing audience or email list or following that we had. We really did our best to start from the ground up in a brand new direction, brand new market, brand new niche, if you will, for what we're doing. So my goal for all of you guys is to get you fast tracking your success to your first 100 members in as fast a time as possible. Because what I want to share with all of you guys is like a lot of your problems that you're maybe facing in your business or getting to where you want to be in your life can all be solved if you just shift all of your attention on getting new members into your tribe and into your community. So with that being said, today we're going to talk about how you can model exactly what we did and ultimately get your first 100 members in 30 days or less. Everyone drop another 100 down below in the chat for me real quick. 100 members in 30 days or less is our goal for you. We're going to show you our proven 3-step community quick launch strategy, which will help you get 100 members into your first or next community guaranteed. As long as you show up and implement these steps, I cannot guarantee that you're going to show up, take action, and do the stuff that we're covering. But I can guarantee that if you do take action on this, it can put and will put you in a position to win. And if you rinse and repeat this process as many times as you need to, I can guarantee you will hit this number. It's only a matter of time. So my bird's eye view for you guys throughout the next few calls we're going to be doing week by week is we're going to be covering the 3 phases and 3 steps to your 100 members. That's exactly what we use one by one. So we're going to be covering low-hanging fruit outreach. Everyone type outreach down below in the comments. We're going to be covering low-hanging fruit content. Go ahead and type content down below in the comments. And then the last thing we're actually going to talk about is forgot to update this. Your quick launch ad strategy. Just type quick launch down below in the chat. Your quick launch ad strategy. I'm going to literally be having Alex come on these next couple weeks and share with you exactly how not just we've quickly launched our own ads into our own community and gotten how many members are we at as of today, Katie?
232. We have gained 55 new members over the last 7 days.
Heck yeah. And here, so 232 is where we're at right now. We started this community about 30 days ago. Yeah, so it's been about 30 days, 232 members. We got the first 100 organically through exactly what we're going to be covering in phase 1 and phase 2. And then we just turned on our quick launch ad strategy. And now we're getting 50. I think last week was actually almost 70 members new added for the week, give or take. So our goal eventually is to ramp up to where we can get 100 members per month. How many of you guys would like to get 100 members per month into your community of your ideal, customers, clients, potential community members that you could serve? That is our goal. So for today, we're going to be starting with step 1 here, which let me change this third box. So if you need to screenshot it here, I got a little typo in here. There we go. And ultimately, the key to getting your first or next 100 members is going to be low-hanging fruit. This strategy for us has been a staple keystone strategy that we've always relied on. That's kind of the backbone of our business, and every business that we've launched is knowing how to properly utilize low-hanging fruit in our ecosystem we already have. Okay, so I'm going to explain all of this, but so I want you guys to ask yourself something right now. How many of you guys know someone, just think about this for a second, in your current network that could potentially be a good fit to join your community? Kelly says me, Mark says me, Ryan says me, Royal says me. Great. I have another question for you. How many of you guys think someone that you know may know someone else who could be a good fit for your community? If that's a yes, type yes down below, or a me in the chat down below. What low-hanging fruit is all about is not just tapping into the ecosystem and network in front of us that are people who would be a good fit themselves that we know, but also asking if anyone they know may be a good fit for this community or may be open to giving it a join to help them achieve their goals. Does that make sense? So we're looking at approaching from 2 angles, like directly and also anyone that person may know who could be a good fit for your community. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through an entire playbook and guide that we put together for you guys here today on the phase 1 of low-hanging fruit outreach here today, because I think all of you guys can do this and use what we're going to be covering today. First or next 5, 10, 15, 20 members or more, potentially your first or next 100 members or more, just doing this one thing. What is low-hanging fruit? Low-hanging fruit is your current network, relationships, and connections that are a potential vault of gold laying right in front of you. All you need to do is reach out and tap in. Sometimes we focus so much on new opportunities that we forget and ignore the existing opportunities we already have that are right in front of our face. Sometimes we're focused so much on the new marketing strategy, the new shiny object, the new wave of innovation that's happening in the marketplace, new AI tips, tricks, strategies, new platforms, all of that we forget and ignore the existing abundance of opportunity that's probably smack dab right in front of our face. So hot, it almost burning us, right? Low-hanging fruit contacts are some of the easiest and fastest people to convert into new community members, book appointments with for your product, services, and offers, and or generate referrals from because they've already connected with you. And quite frankly, if you just reached out to these people, they would probably love to hear from you. How many guys can think of that one person right now that if you reached out, they would probably be grateful for you checking in on them, seeing how they're doing, right? And that's one big thing we're going to talk about here today as well. Reaching out to people to join your community is not have to be and should never be markety, sleazy, or salesy, right? Just show how much you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Show how much you care by just reaching out to people, checking in with them, seeing how they're doing. And we're going to give you some exact templates, scripts, and even some screenshots of some stuff that's worked for us, even some chatting with some of you guys here on this call. I took some screenshots of what's kind of worked well for us to generate some of our initial membership and also clients and cash flow for the business as well. So I'm going to break all that down with you here as well. So quick overview on low-hanging fruit. There is always prospects, acquaintances, and or current, past, or potential clients that you've maybe already had in your network that could either, one, use your expertise or know someone who could use your expertise, which is a referral. The reality is there's a ton of people who would be 100% ready and willing to work with you and join your community and potentially even become a paying client or customer. All you have to do is make contact and or follow up. Our brain is hardwired in a way to try to keep us safe, keep us comfortable, keep us introverted, keep us, alone to ourselves in our little cave. So a couple golden rules, and then we're actually going to work on having a range strategy for making this list. That's going to be in step 1. But a couple golden rules I want to share with you guys first. The first is we've got to be resourceful to make this work, to make our community work, to make our business work. We've got to be resourceful. Why not leverage and maximize contacts who already know about you and have some level of rapport and trust already established and built with you? The reality is it does not take money to make money. How many of you guys have heard that before? It takes money to make money. The reality is it just takes the courage to take action, start conversations, talk to people, and convert those conversations into a potential community member or a booked appointment for a product, service, or offer that you have to offer. So we have to be resourceful to make this work. Golden rule number 2, we've got to be fast and we've got to be first. We don't need to be overthinking what we're saying to, start activating our low-hanging fruit. We don't need to spend days crafting the perfect message, days trying to automate all of this before we've even sent one message. How many of us have gotten stuck in our little cave trying to figure out how to automate everything, trying to use AI for everything, trying to, just shortcut everything rather than, dude, if we just spent the last 1, 2, 3 days reaching out to 10 people a day, we'd probably have a handful of people joining our community and becoming clients. We need to take initiative. Do not hope and pray that people are just going to come join your community, book an appointment with you to become a client, or give you a referral out of the blue. The longer you sit there crossing your fingers, hoping and praying that that's going to be the case, the longer you're going to stay stuck. In order to capitalize on that, we have to be fast, be first, take initiative and take action, get out of our comfort zone and stop crossing our fingers waiting for things to happen to us, right? You will always be left disappointed if you put your future in someone else's hands or the hands of the universe. The reality is people have thousands and thousands of other things that they're thinking about and worrying about and could be spending their attention and time on. You're probably the last thing on their mind until you make contact. Then you become the first thing on their mind. For example, I think, Mark, you just reached out to me 15, 20 minutes ago. Once you reached out to, I think you asked a question. I'm going to get back to you, by the way. Like it puts you top of mind just because you reached out. And so like when you reach out, when you make contact, when you show how much you care by starting conversations with people, it's going to put you top of mind in their brain, in their life, right? People do not pay attention as much as you think. Just like you, they're focused only on themselves. And most of the time, people will forget that you even exist. But if you reach out, all those things are, avoided. And ultimately, you immediately become top of mind in someone's life, right? And they usually more than likely will appreciate you caring enough to make contact. And that's where you can find opportunity, is when you just reach out, make a connection, maybe catch up a little bit, and then advance that to a next step. We'll talk about how all that framework looks. But I want you to understand the mindset behind this is the most important part. Everyone type mindset down below in the chat. A lot of you guys have the assets, the resources, the tools, like everything you need to be successful right now. Sometimes we just got to get out of our own head, right? We need someone to say, hey, like, dude, stop screwing around and get to work. Do this thing this way and do it consistently, right? Final golden rule here is just make contact and follow up until you get a response or a positive reply. Here's our objectives for today. I'm going to go up to the top here. Here's what the process we're going to be going through. Step 1 is we're going to make a list of our low-hanging fruit to start. This is where everything starts. Step 1, make a list. Step 2, we're going to craft a message together to reach out to that list. This is going to be imperfect action. I'm going to give you a ton of templates, examples, and recommendations on what I do here. But don't spend a ton of time crafting this message. Just get something good enough. And then what I want you to do, what's step 3? We're going to send the message, right? That's the reason I emphasize this. Most people skip this step, right? We stay in, creation mode and we never actually do the thing. So we're going to send the message, get a positive response, and then we're going to follow up to get to the desired action, follow up and follow through, and then rinse and repeat until we hit the desired number of members, clients, and customers that we want. Step 1 is make a list. Now, Katie and I are going to be sharing with you guys in the guide a sheet that you can use to start making this list. This is our organic tracking sheet. Right now, we're focusing on the low-hanging fruit component of it. But the first key and step that I like to focus on is just mentally first starting with thinking of that list and then actually putting it into writing, preferably on like a little makeshift pipeline or CRM right here. So I can keep track of the conversations I'm starting, keep track of the conversations that are responded to, and keep track of the people who have joined my community or booked a call or taken that next step through advancing through my product, services, or offers. So the first thing we're going to do is make a list. And here's what I recommend to do so. So there's some major sources of low-hanging fruit that we like to start with. First is current clients. How many of you guys already have current clients in either your current business or another business that you run? Or because I know a lot of you guys are making the shift from one business to maybe another. The best starting point of low-hanging fruit would maybe be current clients that you already have, okay? So I want you to think of current clients first, also potentially past clients. So Current and past clients meaning they've worked with you, at some point throughout your career and journey, but maybe it's been a minute since you guys have done work together. That would be another. The next thing is previous inquiries in your inbox that have not booked yet. So how many guys have had someone reach out in your inbox and you've had a quick exchange or conversation, but maybe they're not in your community, but they've been in your inbox before? How many guys have just had conversations with people through text, messenger, DMs, Facebook DMs, Instagram DMs, somewhere on social media where there's been a connection there, but they're not in your community? Let's keep going. Any engagements? This is huge. This is a huge source of low-hanging fruit right here. Any engagements on any of your Facebook or Instagram posts. This could be likes, comments, the thumbs up, the hearts, the wow emoji. Like anyone who's engaged on any of your content could be a great fit for low-hanging fruit as well. Next thing, any friends or followers on Facebook or Instagram. How many guys have at least one follower on Instagram? Great. We have someone we could add to our list, right? So, I want you to kind of just start thinking big at first, right? Some of you guys are going to get in your head and think of like, well, I'm not sure this person is like the perfect avatar for my community or not just yet. Remember, we're not just reaching out to these people to see if they're a good fit, but maybe someone they know could be a good fit. So everyone is kind of fair game throughout this. But once you get kind of moving and started, you can then kind of prioritize your time on the people who you think would be the lowest hanging fruit throughout the activity. Does this make sense? You guys tracking with me so far? Next thing I've got on here is any leads that have been generated from any marketing methods that you've used in the past. The next thing is local connections are fair game. So friends, family members, referral partners, business connections, associates from past jobs. This is a huge one. This is actually a little ninja hack. Think of like past jobs you've worked and people you've met, like coworkers at those jobs and stuff. Like those are great people to connect with. You guys probably built a really strong bond and relationship, right? Same for employers, same for contacts from like local meetups you've done in the past. Every single local networking event or meetup I do, I try to exchange contact information with as many people as possible so that, I could eventually maybe follow up those people over time. My network and Rolodex is insane after all of the events we've gone to and connections that have been made and people I've stored in my phone. With that being said, we're going to go even a little bit deeper here. We gave you guys some prompts and questions that you can kind of ask yourself. We don't have to go through all of these now, but if you want to keep adding to your sheet, you can. Who are your top 10 clients? Write down those people's names. It's a great way you can go deeper. Who were the last 10 connections that had a good experience or you had a good experience connecting with? Who's the last 10 people you talked to? There's 10 people for you right there. Who are 10 past customers or clients that have worked with you who have seemed to kind of fallen off out of, relationship or connection with you? How many of you guys have like clients and customers in your ecosystem that, you guys have a really strong bond? It's just kind of, you've been maybe busy and haven't talked in a while. That could go for not just like customers, clients, business relationships, maybe your friends and family. Who are 10 people that have reached out in any of your inboxes recently, but did not, book, did not join your community or have not like moved forward through the next step? We often say this, sometimes like people don't respond to our last message. We call it like crickets or getting ghosted or whatever. Like even if they didn't respond to your last message, I highly recommend you just go give them a bump using some of the follow-up scripts we're going to give you here in just a second. Like, hey, just popping this to the top of your inbox. How you doing, man? Who are 10 people that recently liked, commented, or tagged you in anything on social media? Facebook, Instagram, or any social platform works. This is the gold mine for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys like are doing better on social media than you probably think you are. Like you're getting decent likes and comments and engagement like on Facebook or Instagram right now. Maybe you're not getting hundreds of thousands or millions, but guess what? You don't need hundreds of thousands or millions of likes, comments, and followers to build a badass community, right? You maybe need, a handful trickling consistently through each and every post that you make that stacks up and compounds over time. This is one big thing we'll talk about inside our community, which is like, you don't need hundreds of thousands of people or even thousands of people in your community to build an awesome community. You just need a small group of diehard members who care, who get value from what you have to offer, and who can help be the foundation, the backbone for what you're building. So final dump here, hopefully gives all of you guys enough time to get an abundance of names on your list. Who are 10 people that you can make contact with that are leads or past inquiries of conversations that went dead, friends or family members, acquaintances or networking connections, past associates, coworkers, or employers, members of clubs, your church, your neighbors. There's a good one. Or are there any other contacts that you have access to? So after we went through that stint, does anyone get a few more names added to their list? So guys, let's go ahead and advance. I'm going to move up to my model here. We just covered the make a list stage. Next is craft your message. I already gave you a bunch of examples that you could use for your messaging. My favorite, just before I get into examples, and we have some scripts written out for you. What I like to do is just say, hey, Mark, hey, Kelly, hey, Alex, I just saw you commented on my post on Facebook. Just want to personally reach out and say hi. Like, if I don't know them, I'll say, where are you located or what do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking. If I do know them, I'll maybe just check in on them. How's everything going on with the business lately? Like, how have you been doing? Or if the post was related to like my community or something, like, not sure if you got the link to join our new community yet. Did anyone get that over to you yet? If not, here's the link. Can you let me know if that link works okay for you? Right? So there's going to be kind of two types of conversations that we're going to talk about. One is going to be kind of more of like a cooler or colder traffic, which is people who don't really know you that well or know about what you're doing. And then there's going to be like warm and hot types of contacts who like are people who already know, like, and trust you. It's just a simple check-in message, and then simply just kind of letting them know this new thing that you're working on. Not sure if you'd be open to this or know anyone who would. But is it cool if I show you the link? You can let me know if it works. I can get you approved ASAP, right? I'll give you guys some examples, but that's generally going to be our tone throughout all of this. So methods of communication. You can do this through Messenger or DMs. You can do this through email. You can do this through text. You can do this through even phone call if you prefer. There's two types of ways to do this. One is one-to-one and one is one-to-many. I recommend you start with one-to-one first, validate what works for your conversations and your messaging and gets you the most responses, and then think about doing a one-to-many reach out strategy from there. Okay, we'll talk about both, but that's my recommendation for you. So I'm going to show you guys a couple examples from some community members inside this community that I use to just simply reach out and get a conversation going. And so you guys are right here. This first one is actually Ryan, who's been crushing it in the comments. So Ryan, how's it going? Before I get into this, actually, let me read the message, and I want to hear your experience from me, like just reaching out to you. Because, like, first off, I want you and everyone to know that this was no hidden intention or agenda to like try to send this secret message to get Ryan to join my community or become a client. It was totally authentic, organic, and just genuine. However, like, a lot of that's because I have rooted a lot of the low-hanging fruit concepts that we've been talking about into our foundations. And I think, Ryan, you commented on some of my posts, or we connected somewhere on social and we had a conversation like this and we went from there. So I'll read the message and I'd love to hear your interpretation of it. But when I reached out to Ryan, I said, hey, what's going on, brother? Mark, who's also here on this call, I was just chatting with Mark. He mentioned that you were trying to join our community. So actually, this is true. Mark said, hey, I think Ryan's was trying to join your community. He didn't have the link. Have you requested to join yet? If not, here's the link. So if Ryan came from just a post of mine, I would maybe just say like, hey, I just saw you comment on my post. Were you able to get access to our community yet? Or did you get the link? If not, here's the link. Can you let me know if that link works okay so I can get you approved? Done. Thanks for the invite. So that was like the first way that, Ryan, you had joined our community. And then I'll talk next, like, you're now working privately with us, which I'm super pumped and excited about. But tell me this, like, from your end, what did this kind of feel like from your perspective of the relationship?
Well, yeah, it was. Can you hear me? Yeah. It was authentic. You name dropped Mark. We're friends through War Plans, so kind of, it was a relational reach out, right? I didn't feel like you were trying to sell anything. I mean, I know that you will be trying to sell something because I just know, but it felt relational. It felt real, right? So, and I was trying to join, so it was all real. It was all true. So
Yeah,
there's no wall, right? There was nothing put up on my end, right? If you had just come out and said, hey, I'm trying to find 10 coaching clients, I'd be like, no, hold on, right?
Yeah. And that's, I think, kind of the reaction I'm looking for. Because I think the biggest thing that has us in fear of reaching out is like, I don't want to sound pitchy, market sleazy sales. Like no one wants to be that guy, right? And like you can still build an amazing community. You can fill all of your seats for your coaching seats, your products, services, your offers. Like if you just shift the way you do things to being authentic, organic, and genuine, and just be normal. Right? Like just go out and try to serve and help people. And then I promise you, like if you just like let your genuine, authentic energy kind of show through your conversations, everything will work out, right? So what actually happened from here too, I think, Ryan, after that, I think the next message I sent you was this. And so I think a couple of days went by and then I followed back up with you and I was like, hey, what's going on, man? I was just chatting with some of the other War Plan guys. Me and Ryan met from another community that we're all in. It's called War Plan. And your name came up. Do you know anyone who would be open to chatting about what our offer we're working on right now is a done for you Skool Community setup and launch. I'm looking to help 5 to 10 people launch a community to 100 to 1,000 members in the next 90 days. This was kind of once you get someone to join your community, the next thing you may want to advance them to is having a conversation to get to know them better. You don't know if they would be a good fit for working with you or not. You're just asking if they know anyone who would. And then from there, that can open up the door for a conversation with them to see if there is alignment for how you can serve each other, right? And Ryan, you said possibly me. I didn't ask if you were that person. I said, do you know anyone? And you said possibly me. And I said, legend, let's find some time to chat this week, see what we can do to help each other. Here's my calendar link. And that was, and then we strengthened our relationship, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to do is acknowledge, I probably spelled this wrong, and encourage what the person says first. Okay. You do not just want to like hammer people with like questions and not like actually even listen to them. I don't feel like I should even have to say this, but it's something that I see when I review a lot of people's messaging that they missed. Okay. So the rules of thumb here are like ask a question, acknowledge and encourage what they say, and then ask the next question. And you should rinse and repeat that until you get them to join your community and until you get them on a call or into your offer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so we have about 7 scripts for you guys that you can lean into, or obviously you can feel free to make it your own. But the gist here is just keeping it very conversational, very leaned out, not salesy, not, hi, I have a new group. This is what it's about. Would you like to join it? Like, we're not doing that. It's, hey, just wanted to reach out and check in. Hope you're doing great. Not sure if you'd be open to this. I'm looking for, 15 founding members for my new group. It's specifically for XYZ type of person. Just wanted to reach out and see if you or anyone else might be interested, right? Very easy, simple way to slide into the inbox and get that done. There's a few different variations of this, about 7. But you can pick the one that's most in alignment with yours.
Final couple ideas we dropped on here for you can also give you some stuff to like reach out to direct people. So send this to someone who previously reached out to you but never moved forward. I'm just going to keep using names that I see in the chat. Hey, Alex, it's Jordan. Just wanted to check in with you, follow up on our last conversation about whatever you talked about. Would you be open for a quick chat? Or would you be open to checking out and giving some feedback on this new thing I'm working on? Send them a link to the community, right? You could send this to someone who has commented or liked a photo of yours on social media. Hey, Katie, it's Jordan. I just saw you commented on my post and I figured I'd reach out and say hi. Would love to connect. Where are you located and what made you want to reach out if you don't mind me asking? Or what do you do for work? You can ask just a simple question there, right? Send this to friends or followers on your social media profiles. Hey, Ryan, just saw we became friends recently, or saw you've been following me for a while. Figured I'd go ahead and connect and say hi. If you don't know each other, you could say, who you are and what you do. I've been helping a lot of guys like launch and grow their communities recently. Would love to get connected and chat sometime if you're open to it. Learn more about what you do. Where are you located, if you don't mind me asking, right? Very simple. The more you can show interest in others, the more they'll show interest in you. So all of your conversations should show interest in others by asking them questions about them. Does that make sense? This will get you to your first 100 members of your community, and it will also prove to yourself that you're going to crush it with all the other areas that we're going to be covering throughout our time in the community and program as well. Back up to our list here is we are going to send those messages. We talked about that. Craft the message, send the message, And then the goal is to be able to just get a response, right? That's our main goal, is to get a positive reply or a response. So the next thing that we're going to cover is what to do when people reply. What I recommend that you do is be able to immediately make sure that you advance them into your community. Here's a link to the community. Can you let me know if that link worked okay for you? And then I would book, we usually call these warm-up calls for most of the businesses we work with. Every benefit can, or every business can benefit from a warm-up call. If you can then find some time to chat with this person personally through what we call like a warm-up call, a clarity call, a get to know you session, like a catch-up call, whatever you want to call it, this is immediately going to help you get into a position where you can understand if they or anyone that they know that you're talking to could be a good fit for what you have to offer. You can do some customer research, ask them questions, understand what their needs, their wants, their goals, their challenges are, what's holding them back right now. And if it makes sense, you can then extend an opportunity to potentially work with you. Does that make sense? And that's how I would look at getting your first 5 to 10 clients or more from your community funnel, is really focusing on like a 5 to 10 small person beta group that you're only inviting people who would be a good fit to be a part of it. Okay, you guys tracking with me so far? Let me know. So that's the main goal of what we're going to do with our positive replies. Get them into the community, get them on a call or conversation so that we can then be able to figure out if they're a good fit for what we have to offer and extend an invitation to work with them, right? So we'll give you guys some conversation scripts and everything that we recommend to do that. You saw it in the examples above, so I'm not going to kind of rehash it, but the best way is like, man, would you be open to a quick chat to catch up and see if there's anything we can do to help each other this year? Great. Here's my best phone number. What's yours? Or great, here's my calendar link. Can you let me know what time works best for you so I can get that confirmed on my end? And then you just go from there, right? And the fastest way to convert this is just get their phone number and give them a call right away and say, hey, figured it'd be easier to chat over the phone versus over, you know, Facebook Messenger. Just wanted to connect with you, man. Like, how's everything going? What you working on this year? What goals do you have? Cool. Ask some questions, build some rapport. Then when it makes sense, like, let them know I'm working on this really cool thing right now. Like, not sure if you'd be a good fit or anyone you know would be a good fit for it. Do you mind if I share it with you? Cool. Here's what I'm thinking. Let them know what you're thinking and what your offer looks like and things like that. Get some feedback. And if they seem like they would be a good fit, extend an invitation for them to work with you. We're going to have a whole masterclass and rundown on like how to run these calls and conversations. But does everyone see how this can lead to not just your first or next 100 community members, but also your first 5 to 10 clients or customers from your community funnel? Type yes or no down below in the chat. If you feel like this could get you at least one paying client or customer with one streamlined strategy, let me know. Love it. Heck yeah. I appreciate you guys hitting the comments. So here's what I'd recommend that you want to do to sweep through and make this all more effective. The third component of the conversations piece is going to be your follow-ups, right? We start conversations, we try to get people into the community or book an appointment. And then for the people who like don't respond or don't advance to the goal we're looking for, we're going to just follow up. Everyone type follow up down below in the chat. So what I recommend is if someone drops off in any point in the conversation, that you just use some simple follow-up messages to get them back in the conversation and advancing to the next step. So some examples here is this could be people who are already in your inbox who haven't responded or advanced. You can say, hey, Ryan, it's Jordan. Did you get my last message? Or you can say, hey, just popping this to the top of your inbox. That's actually my favorite one. I'm going to move that one to the top. Hey, name, just popping this to the top of your inbox. I guarantee you, if you go and send this out to a handful of people who have not responded to your last message, you're going to get some responses. Usually I use this one and then this one here, a double question mark, just to pop in with them. You can go try this out on anyone, and I promise you, you're going to get some replies. But hey, just popping this top of your inbox, question marks, just sent you last message, just want to make sure you got it. Hey, Ryan, I've got a couple spots open in my community. Would love to talk about that. I'm not going to go through all these, but just make sure that you're continually advancing your conversations to the next step through follow-up. Alex, Katie, anything you want to mention on follow-up? You always say the fortune is in the follow-up.
That's what I was about to say. The fortune is in the follow-up. I like to just put myself in other people's shoes, right? People get busy, or if they're anything like me, they'll open a message, literally read it, respond in their head, not type it out, get distracted by something, and then days, weeks, sometimes even months go by and they totally forgot about that message altogether. Not because they didn't want to respond, not because they read it and said, oh, I don't want that. Like, none of that's actually going on. People are just busy and distracted and have a million and one things going on. So we can't take offense to the fact that they don't respond to us right away, or that maybe they never respond to us. We just gotta follow up. That's the number one thing. And a lot of these ones that Jordan has here, it's just like, hey, just checking back in. If you're not interested, totally fine. Just let me know that. But just want to do the courtesy of popping it to the top of your inbox, right? Just wanted to make sure that you saw this. No pressure. Just let me know. It's very leaned out. And it tends to work really, really well.
So we gave you at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 follow-up messages on top of an extra 3 bonus ones for a particular purpose as well. So with that being said, final note that brings this home is just rinse and repeating these process and creating accountability. The one and only thing that's going to hold you back from your first or next 100 members or more, and getting your first or next 5 to 10 plus high ticket clients, low ticket clients, mid ticket clients, whatever your product, service, or offer is simply going to be accountability and consistency. So I'm going to share with you guys what we call our daily power activities, which have become the backbone for us and our customers and clients, as well as all of our team members, that we have them complete on a daily basis, the most important high leverage activities that actually move the needle. Now, we're not going to talk about content today. We're going to talk about that next week, which how many of you guys want to hear our low-hanging fruit content strategy type content down below? We'll be covering that next week, and make sure to get you guys all an invitation so you can hit part 2 of this. But for low-hanging fruit, all we're going to recommend is starting 10 conversations a day, checking the box as soon as it's done each day, just like so. You can print this off, or you can use the digital version and bookmark it to your Chrome toolbar so you can access it regularly. And then the goal is then to get 1 community member, book 1 appointment, and or get 1 new client or customer per day. That's all we're looking at right now. So that you guys remember us, let's type this in the chat. Step 1 is 10x conversations. Type that in the chat for me so I know you got it. That's the first power activity and daily discipline that I want all of you guys to kickstart and ignite starting today. Okay? We don't do these calls to just give you a bunch of general information and stuff to think about. We try to give you stuff to do, right? That's what's going to move the needle. That's what's going to get your community growing. That's what's going to get you getting as many clients and customers as you want and need, and get you actually living the life you want. So the first thing is those 10x combos. The second thing is getting 1x community member. The goal of these conversations is to get community members first and foremost. And I want you to just focus on getting 1 member per day. Okay. Some of you guys are going to get way more than 1 a day. Some of you guys are going to get like us, 10, 25, 50, 100 a week, which nets down to, 10 to 20 people a day. But if you just got 1 new member into your community per day, 365 days in a year, by the end of the next year cycle, you would have 365 people inside your community. Who would love to have an extra 365 people inside their community right now? Hopefully that's everybody. That's why you guys are here, right? So you just, let's say you started this strategy a year ago, you would already be there if you just started with 1 a day, right? And when you double that to 2 members a day, 3 members a day, 4 members a day, 5 members a day, 10 members a day, which we'll show you how to do, that's how we can really grow our community like wildfire, right? So just start with 1 a day to make an easy win for yourself each and every day to grow this community, grow this business, and get you moving ahead, right? Those are the 2 things I want to recommend you first and foremost, right? Once you've accomplished that, the next thing, I highly encourage you, no matter what product, services, or offers you provide, to start having live calls and conversations with potential clients so that you can understand them, so you can understand what their needs, wants, goals, challenges are, what they're looking for help with, and maybe find your first or next 5 to 10 people who would be a good fit for what you have to offer and extend an invitation to work with you. So the next thing I'd recommend is just getting those calls being booked so you can get into momentum. I don't care what type of business you're looking to build. Katie and I have low ticket memberships and low ticket products and things like that. we still, in every one of our businesses, try to talk to at least one client or customer per day, if not, one per week at the latest, so that we can continually understand our ideal clients and customers and community members to the highest level. And if it makes sense, extend an opportunity for them to work with us privately through our offers that we're running at any given time. We'll show you how we do all of this. But does everyone see how just if we started these conversations, get community members and start getting people on conversations, we could probably start making a good foot forward in getting some new clients, customers that are paying us. And, I've seen people get their first or next $5,000 to $10,000 a month in as little as 30 days just doing this all together. What we just covered today, we're going to cover some Q&A, so don't go anywhere. We made a list of our low-hanging fruit. We crafted the message that we're going to be sending out to that low-hanging fruit. We've sent the message to the low-hanging fruit. Some of you guys literally sent those messages on the call. Love to see that immediate action taking. Once you send the message, the goal is to get a response, follow up if there's any breakage in the conversation or drop off, or they saw the message but they didn't respond, or maybe they didn't see the message and you're just popping this to the top of their inbox. We talked about all of that. And then creating accountability so that you can rinse and repeat this process until you achieve your goal. And I promise you, if you do this and nothing else, this can and will get you to those first or next 100 members in your community in 30 days or less. And just so you guys know what the pace would be, let's say there's 30 days in a month. All you guys are going to need is shooting for 1 to 3 members per day to start hitting this pace. 1 out of 3 verticals that we're going to be covering, right? Today was just talking about outreach. We're also in the next following week going to talk about low-hanging fruit content. We're going to show you the exact, I don't have them pulled up in front of me here right now, but the exact post that we use to launch and grow our community. Also the exact text and email blast that we used as well. The least important thing is the content or the classroom and what's in there. The most important thing is the connections that you're making in your community, right? The community tab, getting people to, post, engage, asking questions, getting responses, having a calendar structure like we have right now that gets people brought together. How many of you guys have not made a single post in the community tab yet, but you're here on this call and you're like, this is awesome. Or you got something maybe out of today, right? Maybe a little gold nugget of peace, right? So that should prove to you, we had a couple of people say me, right? That should prove to you that you don't need to have this perfect course or classroom area to start serving people. Does that make sense? You just need to care about your members, start conversations with them, throughout the community tab and, live through, real one-to-ones, and then start doing your calendar structure and routine, which I recommend you just start with at least a weekly call for your members. If you can do more than that, great. But just start talking to your people live, because that's what's going to actually help you build the best content. I want you to go make this post in the community right now to show that you watched this video. Send the dang message. Send the dang message. Go drop that in the community so we know you were here. And we'll get you leveling up with some points, get you rocking and rolling, getting you that first 100 community members. Keep us posted on your journey. Let us know how many community members you're growing by. And when you hit your first 100 members, please let us know, because we want to do something special for all you guys who hit your first 100. So let's do it. Let's rock. Let's roll. We'll see you in the community. We'll talk to you guys soon. Catch you later. Peace.